So my talk this morning was about the 10 hottest consumer trends for 2013, and what I was trying to do is really give a whistle-stop overview, a very high-level overview of the consumer arena, but just tease out some of the areas that might present interesting opportunities to innovate around.
Is really the idea that people, consumers, we have these basic fundamental human needs that don't change very often, are quite stable. The search for social status, the desire for fairness, the desire for collectivism. We looked at some of these basic fundamental human needs. But of course what does change is the circumstances around them, perhaps our economic circumstances, new technologies, where we live, different changing social values. These things change, and when they change, these basic fundamental human needs can be serviced in new ways. And really this is right at the heart of when we're looking at all consumer trends, when we're trying to understand why an innovation connects with consumers, is relevant to consumers, it often comes back to this need, this satisfying or catering to a basic fundamental human need.
For businesses in the West, to use a collective term, emerging markets are seen as this kind of rich seam of opportunity. This is where all of our future growth has come from. And I think perhaps people have maybe overlooked the fact that these emerging markets, they are by their nature emerging. There are brands coming out of there that are increasingly powerful and confident. I think the BCG, Boston Consulting Group, published a great stat last year. There are now over 1,000 brands from emerging markets with sales of over $1 billion a year. These are businesses that are coming out there, and they are looking to the rest of the world for their growth too. And of course, they have the experience of operating in these markets, in these fast growth markets, in a way that a Belgian, Norwegian brand doesn't anymore. So I think, as a business in the West, we need to watch out. We should be afraid.
And you've also got to ask yourself, who are you really competing against? Because all of this innovation that's surrounding us on a daily basis on a global scale is really creating what we've called the expectation economy. And this is the idea, right, that consumers, they increasingly go into every purchase, every interaction with incredibly high expectations. There's not just best in category, not just best in sector, but best in the business arena at large. Think about someone getting into the BMW, right? They don't look at the in-car entertainment system and compare it to Mercedes-Benz and say, oh, it's a little bit better, it's done a really great job. No, they compare it to Apple and they say, why is it not as easy to use as my iPad? Why is it not as well designed as my iPhone? And of course, in 2013, it's not just the guy getting in the BMW that's making that comparison, it's the guy getting a Fiat, in the Hyundai. Every consumer has the highest expectations, and they expect you, and if you're a B2B brand as well, you're also coming up against these expectations. Whether you're a hotel chain, whether you're a medical device supplier, your customers expect your products and services to be as well designed, your customer service to be as brilliant as the brands here, the best in class.
The majority of consumers, especially in mature markets, facing financial pressures, sustainability is not enough to warrant a higher price. So I think what we're seeing now is businesses having to look at how they can integrate sustainability to actually make the products and services better, either better for the business, lower, so they can reduce the price for consumers, or actually better for the consumer. Can you make a product that is actually better? If they look at light bulbs, the light bulb that lasts for 20 years, that is a better product for consumers.
4 levels that we think you can apply trends, you can really apply consumer trends. At the top there, you've got your vision. This is, as we heard from Unilever yesterday, tapping into the sustainability trend, or being part of the sustainability trend, doubling their business without increasing the environmental impact. That's a big visionary statement, informed, of course, by the ecology trend. Below that, new business concepts. Businesses like Airbnb, Zipcar, the collaborative consumption trend, triggering and driving these whole new business models. New products, services, experiences. Below that, we've just seen some of them. The virtual fridge. Think about what new products and services, experiences you can launch informed by the trends. And then at the bottom, You know, the fluffy stuff, the marketing, the advertising, the PR. Anyone in advertising here will know, of course, you know, this is a great way to show consumers that you get the trends that are important to them, to show that, you know, you're moving with the zeitgeist, you're in tune with consumer needs and wants.
Bottom of the pyramid innovation, you know, is a huge topic because, you know, if we look at innovation as unlocking a better society, you know, it's a huge focus. And I think, you know, actually, from a business point of view as well, it's good business because, you know, today's bottom of the pyramid consumer is tomorrow's low-income consumer, is next week's middle-class consumer. You know, and I think we're seeing more and more, you know, businesses like Unilever, like P&G, you know, reaching out and understanding that it is great business to help these previously overlooked consumers. So yeah, you know, I think it's a huge trend.